Before time began, before galaxies spun into being, before a single heartbeat was heard, there was God. In his infinite love, he dreamed of a creation that would carry his own essence, not merely a reflection, but a living mirror of his nature. And so, he formed humanity, not with words, but with his breath. Into dust, he breathed eternity. Into clay, he poured his spirit. The heavens tell his story. The earth bears his signature. But it is in the human heart that eternity took root. Every generation since has felt this sacred longing, the whisper that there is more. The soul remembers Eden. The spirit aches for home. In every sunrise, every act of kindness, every quiet breath of awareness, eternity stirs again. This is the journey, the awakening of divine consciousness within, to live in continual union with God, to rise from glory to glory, until the veil of separation is no more, until humanity and divinity breathe as one again. This is eternity in the human heart, a story not of escape, but of awakening, a call to remember what was always within you, the light that cannot be extinguished, the spirit that cannot die, the love that cannot fail. Welcome to the journey back to the heart of God. In the stillness of creation, the breath of God moves, one spirit, infinite in expression. Isaiah spoke of this mystery. The Spirit of Yahweh will rest upon him, not as 7 different spirits, but as 7 dimensions of one divine flame. The fullness of the Spirit is not divided. It radiates in 7 streams of light, like colors from one sun. These are the 7 flames that rest upon the awakened soul. The Spirit of Yahweh, the presence, the very breath of God, the heartbeat of eternity, dwelling within you. The Spirit of extraordinary wisdom, not knowledge from books, but divine insight, the ability to see from heaven's perspective. It opens your eyes to the hidden patterns behind all things. The Spirit of perfect understanding, the inner knowing that flows like still water, where confusion dissolves and truth becomes clear. The Spirit of wise strategy, heaven's mind revealed in the earth, the capacity to move with precision, to act with divine timing, to walk in step with purpose. The Spirit of mighty power, not force but radiant strength, the creative energy that sustains galaxies and raises hearts from despair. The Spirit of revelation, the unveiling of what has always been, God showing himself through you, within you, around you. And the Spirit of the fear of Yahweh, not terror but awe, the trembling awareness of being in the presence of boundless holiness. It humbles the soul, yet exalts the spirit into reverent union. These 7 dimensions are not given to a few. They flow through all who open their hearts to the eternal. Like Enoch, who walked until he was no more, like Moses, who carried the radiance of the divine, so too can you walk, as a living lampstand, with 7 flames burning upon your life. The more you dwell in communion, the more the Spirit unfolds within you. From one light, 7 radiances, from one breath, infinite revelation. This is the mystery of divine consciousness, to carry within you the fullness of the Spirit, wisdom, understanding, strategy, power, revelation, awe, and to let that flame grow until it lights the world around you. Within every heart, there burns a hidden sanctuary, a place not built by hands, the lampstand of divine light. Long before the temples of stone, there was this living temple, humanity, formed from dust, breathed into flame by God himself. When the Spirit of Yahweh rests upon you, the 7-fold flame begins to rise. Each light awakens a new layer of your being, transforming the soul into the image of the eternal. The Spirit of wisdom refines the mind, teaching you to see through the eyes of heaven. You begin to discern truth not by logic alone, but by love. The Spirit of understanding heals the heart, allowing compassion to flow where judgment once lived. You begin to hear the silent language of souls. The Spirit of wise strategy sanctifies the will, aligning your choices with divine rhythm. You stop reacting. You start responding with purpose. The Spirit of mighty power renews the body, infusing your actions with grace, giving you endurance born of peace, not striving. The divine energy flows through your hands, your steps, your breath. The Spirit of revelation awakens vision, unveiling mysteries that were always near. You start to see God everywhere, in faces, in seasons, in stillness. The spirit of the fear of Yahweh anchors your soul, keeping your awe alive. You no longer chase light for power, but for presence. The more you see, the more you bow in reverence, and above them all, the spirit of Yahweh himself, the source flame, the breath of love that holds all creation together. When all seven burn as one, the human being becomes a living lampstand, radiant with the light of God, walking as heaven on earth. This is not myth. This is your design. Every act of kindness rekindles wisdom. Every moment of prayer stirs understanding. Every step in faith fans the flame of power. The journey of transformation is not about escaping humanity. It is about sanctifying it. Until the divine and human walk as one, as they did in Enoch, in Moses, in Christ. You are the lampstand. You are the flame, and eternity burns quietly in your heart. Once the light awakens, it does not stay in temples or visions. It walks among people. The divine was never meant to remain a mystery hidden in clouds. It is a presence meant to breathe through your every act of love, your work, your silence. To live in the consciousness of God is not to escape the world, but to reveal heaven within it. The spirit of wisdom whispers in choices that shape your path, the calm voice that says pause before speaking, or give even when no one is watching. It is not intelligence, but harmony, knowing when to move, when to wait. The spirit of understanding opens your heart to people's pain. Suddenly you can sense the story behind their eyes, and instead of reacting, you reach with compassion. Every act of gentleness becomes a quiet miracle. The spirit of wise strategy orders your days, teaching you to build not just for survival, but for purpose. It aligns your plans with divine rhythm, reminding you that destiny is not rushed, but cultivated. The spirit of mighty power gives you endurance in difficulty, the unseen strength that keeps you peaceful in storms. You learn that power is not force, but the quiet persistence of love. The spirit of revelation makes the ordinary luminous. You see divine fingerprints on everything. The sunset becomes scripture. A stranger's kindness becomes prophecy. Every moment becomes holy ground. The spirit of the fear of Yahweh keeps your awe alive. It humbles the heart and lifts the eyes. You stop chasing control and start cultivating reverence. And above all, the spirit of Yahweh himself abides. The presence that breathes through your laughter, that walks with you in stillness, that turns daily living into worship. When you walk in this awareness, even your smallest moments become eternal. You are not just passing through time. You are carrying eternity through time. You are the temple of divine breath. You are the lampstand shining among nations. The same spirit that hovered over the waters hovers now in your heart. The same breath that gave life to Adam breathes through you. Let the flame live through your words. Let it shine through your eyes. Let your entire life become the prayer. This is what it means to walk from glory to glory. Not distant holiness, but daily transformation. Every sunrise is an invitation to become light again. Once you lived in shadows, drifting through days as if separated from light, following the currents of a world that forgot its maker. Your spirit slumbered in the fog of survival, and your soul echoed with the ache of something missing, eternity calling from within. But even when we were lost in darkness, love did not withdraw. Mercy reached across the divide. Grace stepped into the silence. The breath of God entered the dust once more, and we awakened. This is the mystery of divine compassion, not that we climbed our way to heaven, but that heaven bent down to raise us up. We were not just forgiven, we were resurrected with Christ, not just restored, enthroned with him in heavenly realms. Grace didn't simply remove guilt, it awakened identity. You are not a wanderer anymore. You are home in him. You are not a servant begging at the door. You are seated at the table of glory, for you are his poetry, his poemia, a living verse written by the hand of eternity. Every heartbeat, every breath, every step is a word in the poem of God. You exist to display the beauty of his kindness, to be evidence that mercy triumphs over everything. This is grace, not a doctrine, but a living presence. It is the divine artistry that takes what was broken and makes it radiant again. And now, through Christ, heaven and earth touch in you. The Spirit flows through your humanity as living current. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. You are not trying to reach God. God has already reached into you. So walk as one who has risen. Let your life be an open temple, a dwelling where heaven's light has no walls. Grace is not a moment you receive. It is the river you live in. And this river flows to others through your kindness, through your forgiveness, through your courage to love when it costs you something. You were not saved to escape the world. You were awakened to redeem it. Every act of goodness rebuilds the ruins. Every word of peace repairs the broken walls. For we are co-heirs, co-builders, co-lovers of a restored creation, temples of light in a world longing to remember its source. Eternity is not distant. Eternity is alive in your veins. The same grace that raised the Christ lives in you, and through you, the world shall see what love can build. You are no longer strangers wandering the edges of holiness. You are citizens of heaven's realm, members of the divine household, living stones in the temple not built by human hands. This is the mystery of grace fulfilled. The Eternal has chosen to dwell not in stone cathedrals, but in the soft, beating chambers of human hearts. Through Christ, the master architect, the design of heaven has entered earth. The foundations are the apostles and prophets. Those who carry divine blueprints in their spirits, Christ himself is the cornerstone, aligning every part in perfect harmony. And now you, your life, your story, your breath, are part of this living structure. Each act of love lays another brick. Each word of truth strengthens the walls. Each forgiven wound becomes a window of light. Together we rise, one body, one sanctuary, built by the Spirit's hand. This temple is not silent. It sings with the hum of creation, remembering its source, the music of unity, the harmony of heaven and earth restored. You are the architecture of light, designed for communion, sustained by grace, expanding with every heartbeat that dares to love. For God's dwelling is not above us, but within us. Every soul illuminated becomes a sanctuary. Every life surrendered becomes a doorway for heaven. When the divine inhabits humanity, the world itself begins to glow. This is why we are here, not to escape earth, but to transform it into the likeness of heaven. Each generation adds another layer, another song, another testimony of light. And one day, the structure will be complete, a radiant city where God and creation are one again. Until then, build, with mercy as your mortar and love as your law. You are the architecture of light, a living cathedral of eternity. The power that raised Jesus from the dead now flows through you. It is not a distant energy, but the living pulse of resurrection breathing within your spirit. When Christ rose, humanity rose with him. When he ascended, you were lifted too, seated with him in the heavenly realm, not as a shadow or symbol, but as a participant in divine reality. This is the mystery of grace fulfilled. You were not only saved from death, you were awakened into dominion, seated with the one who reigns above every rule, every realm, every power, every name that could ever be named. All things are under his feet, and you, his body, are the fullness of that expression. Heaven's authority does not thunder from distant clouds. It flows through yielded hearts. To live seated with Christ is to live above reaction, above fear, above the noise of time. It is to look upon the world not from anxiety, but from compassion. The throne is not a place of pride. It is the posture of love. To be raised with him is to see every person, every moment, every challenge from the elevation of mercy. You were never meant to crawl through the dust of worry. You were born to walk in the light of authority, to carry peace into chaos, to bring order where confusion reigns. The ascended life is not escape from the world. It is engagement with heaven's clarity. You stand between realms, a bridge of divine consciousness, translating glory into grace. The world will know its Redeemer when his people remember where they are seated. You are not beneath circumstance. You are above it, in Him. Seated with Christ means living from abundance, not striving, speaking from truth, not reaction, loving from wholeness, not need. This is your true position, raised, awakened, radiant. The same Spirit that lifted Christ now lifts you, daily, quietly, completely. You are the ascended heart of God walking through time. The world below cannot define you. Heaven within you cannot be silenced. From this throne of grace, you reign through compassion, intercede through understanding, and build through peace. Live from there, not striving upward, but flowing outward, for you are already seated in the eternal now of Christ. From the throne flows a river, clear as crystal, alive with light. It is not far from you. It flows within you. Every heartbeat echoes that rhythm. Heaven's water finding pathways through human vessels. For the ascended ones are not passive observers of glory. They are living conduits of it. The same Spirit that raised Christ now moves as a current through His people, a river of mercy, wisdom, and healing. This is the mystery. When you were seated with Him, the river began to flow through you. You are no longer a desert. You are a garden where eternity blooms. The river of life carries seeds of renewal. Wherever it flows, death dissolves, and the barren becomes fruitful. Ezekiel saw it as water rising from the threshold, ankle deep, then knee deep, then to the waist, until one could only swim in the vastness of divine movement. This is the journey of surrender. The deeper you go, the less of you there is to control, and the more of Him there is to become. Along the river's edge stands the tree of life, its roots drinking the eternal flow, its leaves shimmering with healing for the nations. The tree is not separate from you. You are part of it, grafted, glowing, alive. The fruit you bear is not effort but overflow. The river does not ask you to strive. It invites you to yield. The Spirit whispers, "Stop rowing, child. Let me carry you." The flow of divine life moves not by force, but by alignment. The throne is the source. You are the channel. The world is the field waiting for rain. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, every glance of compassion, these are streams flowing out to heal the soil of humanity. You are the river's testimony, proof that heaven can inhabit flesh and earth can still blossom with eternity. And in the end, there will be no separation between the river and the tree, between God and man, for they shall flow as one. You are that oneness beginning to bloom. Before the foundations of the world, the Spirit moved like wind over the waters. That same breath now moves through you, unseen, unstoppable, alive. It is the wind of transformation, the breath of God that awakens what was sleeping, that calls bones to rise and hearts to burn. The Spirit is not a concept. It is the pulse of creation itself, the holy fire breathing life into clay. The breath that entered Adam is the same that whispered over Mary, that descended at Pentecost, that now stirs in the depths of your being. You are not separate from that movement. You are its vessel. Every inhale is divine communion. Every exhale, the echo of His name. And as the wind moves, the fire follows. For the Spirit burns not to destroy, but to refine, consuming what is false, revealing what is eternal. Fire illuminates. Wind carries. Together, they renew the face of the earth. When the disciples gathered in stillness, it came, the rushing wind, the tongues of fire. Fear dissolved, identity awakened, language became light. This is what happens when eternity breathes through humanity. The Spirit does not merely visit, it indwells. You are not a bystander to power. You are the flame's expression, the breath's continuation. Wherever the Spirit blows, new creation begins, and the same voice that spoke, "Let there be light," now whispers within you, "Let there be transformation." From glory to glory, from breath to breath, the image of the divine expands within your soul. You become radiant, not by striving, but by surrender. Let the fire fall upon your thoughts until every one becomes prayer. Let the wind carry your heart until every beat becomes worship. For this is the mystery of the Spirit, to make all things new beginning with you. In the beginning, there was a garden, a place where heaven kissed the earth, where every breath was worship and every moment shimmered with the nearness of God. Humanity walked there, clothed in light, crowned with His likeness, radiant with His breath. The garden was never merely a place, it was a state of communion. But when the gaze turned inward, when fear replaced wonder, the sound of harmony dimmed. Yet even in the silence of separation, the heartbeat of God never left creation, for he had already woven eternity into the human heart, a memory of Eden that would one day bloom again. The story was never about exile, but about return. Every sunrise since has been a whisper of restoration. Every act of love, a seed of the new creation. And now, the river flows again, clear as crystal, winding through the city of light, watering the roots of the tree of life. Its leaves are for healing. Its fruit is for union. The garden has not been lost. It is awakening within you. You are the soil and the seed, the branch and the blossom. The same spirit that walked in Eden at twilight now walks within your soul. Creation groans for this unveiling, the revealing of the sons and daughters of God, who carry restoration in their very breath. For when humanity awakens, the earth rejoices, the rivers remember their song, the trees stretch toward the light, the lion lies down with the lamb. All of creation exhales. At last, harmony returns. This is the garden restored, not as it was, but as it was always meant to be. Humanity and divinity intertwined, walking together once more in the cool of eternal day. And the voice still calls, "Behold, I make all things new." There will be no night there, no shadow, no fading, for the Lord himself will be the light. This is the destiny of those who awaken, to live as radiant beings of the eternal day. The story of creation began with, "Let there be light." It ends, or rather begins anew, when that same light fills every heart, every thought, every breath. You were not made merely to reflect light. You were made to become it. The brilliance of God's nature is not distant. It is the pulse within you. The veil has lifted, the morning has come, and the light that once shone upon faces now rises from within souls. In this eternal day, time loses its grip. Moments no longer vanish, they unfold endlessly in divine presence. You walk not under the sun, but within the sun. Every step is worship, every breath a spark of eternity. The nations bring their glory into this light. No gate is ever shut, for fear and darkness no longer speak. The redeemed carry within them the brilliance of their Maker. Their eyes hold sunrise, their words scatter shadows. The eternal day is not just coming, it is being born through you. For the Spirit of God no longer visits, he inhabits. You are his dwelling, his dawn, his reflection upon the world. The fire that once refined you now radiates from you. The river that once healed you now flows through you. The city that once descended now shines as your very being. This is the mystery of union, heaven and earth intertwined, humanity and divinity breathing as one. The eternal day is not a time, it is a state of being. It is the consciousness of Christ within you, the endless sunrise of divine awareness. So rise, beloved soul. Let your face mirror his glory. Let your life become the dawn that never ends. For the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. And now, the story that began with light ends in everlasting illumination. And now, beloved soul, the circle is complete. From dust to glory, from breath to radiance, from separation to union. You have walked through the unfolding of divine awareness, through the mystery of creation, the revelation of Christ, and the awakening of the Spirit within. The truth stands eternal. God has never been far. His breath sustains you. His light fills you. His life animates every part of you. You are not reaching for heaven. Heaven has already risen within you. Every thought, every heartbeat, every act of love is the song of eternity resonating through your being. The spirit of wisdom, revelation, and power has rested upon you. You are no longer merely aware of God. You are one with him. The day of awakening has come. The shadows fade, and the light reigns eternal. For eternity was never distant. It was always written in your heart. Live as light. Walk in the radiance of divine union. Shine until the world remembers that it, too, was born of God. This is not the end. It is the dawn that never ends. eternity in the human heart, the eternal day.